All right, we are live on all of our platforms here. It's the next round. EG, Emily Grace McWhorter, Little T, Taylor Korn. I'm Ryan Brown, Lance Taylor. We are at the Birmingham Squadron, BJCC Legacy Arena tonight. They've got the Maine Celtics in town.
Every time you say that,
yeah.
like, damn, we got the Maine Celtics.
Main ones.
And I am looking at their logo right now. It is a lobster. He's got ball and right claw.
It's actually a pretty good logo.
Yeah.
You like it?
I think their merch might be pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think, T?
I don't know. I can't tell yet.
You can't tell?
It's fine.
I hear our show. Where am I hearing our show? No, I got that. Oh.
So I think the Squadron have got good gear too. We got gifted some Squadron gear because
come on, Little T.
I'm uploading this video.
Yeah. I'm sure we will get to our pickup games from Disrupt the Media that we played.
Gosh.
But got so sweaty, my regular shirt is here.
You had to dump it.
New shirt, yeah. And I've got the large. I told you, I was like, I think the large will fit, and I put it on, and
It's a muscle shirt.
Yeah, that's a medium right there, buddy.
It really is.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Maine Celtics logo. I agree. I think it's unique, but when you say Maine Celtics, I'm like, damn.
It sounds like it's
The Maine
Celtics.
Yeah, we got Larry Bird.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And,
Who is EG your favorite Celtic of all time?
My favorite Celtic of all time. I don't really follow the NBA, but I guess it has to be Larry Bird.
What about you?
I couldn't name one.
Jason Tatum.
All-time Celtic. You can't name an all-time Celtic.
I mean, if y'all gave me a few people, I could recognize.
you don't know
their names.
Larry Bird?
No, I know who that is.
My
but like,
dad's inspo.
He's one of the best-looking men
That's
ever.
right.
I don't know what he looks like.
NBA sexiest man, like 12 years running, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, that's an award.
Yeah, I would.
Not that he would win.
I'm trying to tell
Oh
you
wait, I think I do know what he looks. Does he?
somebody that you would know that looks
tall.
like Larry Bird.
Oh, I think that
He's
I know
got no
one.
lips, no
No,
chin, but he's
yeah.
got a gigantic nose.
I feel like I know one, but I can't say.
I like Jason Tatum.
I like Jason Tatum.
Now, again, you're young. We go way back to
Does he
what
look
was
like him?
at one particular time the greatest rivalry in the history of the NBA, and that was Lakers Celtics.
That's
Those Celtics teams, when you had Larry Bird and you had a guy like Kevin McHale that was so underrated, one of the best fours to ever play.
That's who NH3425 says Kevin McHale.
I mean, he was a great player.
The problem was
Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah,
brought him up.
Lunsford brings up Brian Scalabrine, the old Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ginger ninja.
Oh, I
Much
forgot
better
about that. I love
broadcaster, commentator than he was a
Yeah.
player.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Cowens had the foot of our man Tim Melton. I asked you, by the way, got a confirmation.
Right.
18?
Not only the 18, I said today on the show that I think your foot probably weighs 20 pounds. And he said, yeah, you're probably about right. And I said,
There's
well,
no
look,
way.
I agree with you, T.
no. Well, he told me he's about 330.
Okay, well, that's 40 pounds a foot.
But it's an 18. His foot is like this long. I just asked him this. I said, I hope it doesn't happen, God forbid. But if you ever lose your foot, can we weigh it?
I think they generally do that, don't they? Like when they amputate a
Yeah.
foot or something like that.
Well, or he could just know how much he weighs before and then after.
That's true. Yeah, you can do that too.
You
It's
know,
gonna be hard to weigh though when he's down 2 feet.
I wonder,
Yeah.
is
it would have to be like one of those chairs.
well, is there a way that he could
Do it
position himself with just his foot off the scale?
Well, then your whole leg would be
No,
on
that's
the
still
scale.
gonna transfer.
Yeah, it's still going to
now? You'd
transfer.
you have to like, maybe
Was that a
half
brown,
these.
the quarter coming through the plane comment?
That was a bird through the plane. No, a little bit it was, yeah. What do you
I
think?
feel
You
like, man, maybe this is an invention. I don't know. But like some way that you wrap something around like your wrist and it has a scale and it'll only weigh from like the metric system.
But how does it tell what's up and what's
I
down?
don't-
Cool. It'd be cool. That could be, we can make millions.
Yeah, but
Well, I
you
really
see-
don't think. Yeah, I mean,
I think Lance is the only one that would buy it for Melton's foot.
Well, no, I just want to know. Like, you see reenactment shows on this is what would have happened if he would have fallen off this building or something. I'm just throwing it out
Okay,
there.
but for example, we
But
could
I
use-
guarantee there's somebody that
Yeah.
could probably calculate what his foot weighs.
Yeah.
Think about this. Okay, let's say we needed to know the weight of this table for some reason. So then you wrap it. It's like I have a vision. You wrap it around,
okay.
and it would give
21
us.
pounds, by the way.
How do you know that?
I just look. It looks like
The
21
weight-
So,
pounds.
so you're saying that Melton's foot weighs as much as this table? There's no way.
Man,
That
that
is
doesn't make any sense.
It's a bone. This is like this is bare bones. There's nothing underneath this.
Well, I know, but I
I'm
mean,
just-
lift
I mean-
this table up.
That
Okay, this table weighs a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that his foot. This table probably is 35 pounds.
Okay.
It's like his feet.
That's just
think about how handy that would be for your suitcase. You wrap.
They
it around
have
your
that for your suitcase.
Well, then let's put it on his foot.
Are you a good packer, by the way?
I am.
I feel like you have packing cubes.
I don't, but I've always wanted them.
Yeah,
Well, actually, I take that back. I do have some bags.
What are the packing bags? My wife
Yeah.
uses those.
I have the bags, not the cubes.
And that actually,
Okay.
I feel like helps you pack more in a
It does.
suitcase. So she's got the bags, the zip
Yes.
like that,
Yep.
and you put all your underwear and your socks in the
in
small one,
Yes.
and then you put like your shirts in one and all the other stuff, and then it just packs in so nice and neatly.
Yeah, I am not a good packer. You look like you'd be a great packer. You look like you'd be shaky at packing. Is that fair?
Yeah. Well, my issue is that if I pack in a duffel bag and not like a suitcase that opens up, the first thing that I need is always the thing at the very bottom. So everything just, and I always feel like I'm late and in a rush. So I don't take things out and place them. I just rummage, which probably makes it harder to find what I'm looking for, but that's just what happens.
The worst vacation for me is 3 or 4 days, because 3 or 4 days you still try to take one bag, but it's difficult to pack, and then you don't know if you want. Like I'm one of those. If I get somewhere and I'm going to stay 4 more days, I'm unpacking everything and I'm putting it in the closet. I'm putting it in the drawers. But if I'm only staying 2 or 3 days, I try to live out of the suitcase.
Yeah. I'm
kind of with you on that. Yeah.
I always overpack. I find that it's
I do
better
too.
to overpack than underpack because there's nothing worse than being somewhere and be like, I should have brought that.
I've never had that situation though.
I've
Have
had
you?
it once, and
I've never had it.
What? I have that like every time I leave the house, I feel like.
I think I would almost rather be underprepared because I take too much shit. Every time. Every time.
You'd
I'm like,
rather be underprepared.
yeah.
I don't like the idea of having to like track down a store or something to get
Me
stuff.
neither.
So here's what I do. I've got a, so this is for guys. Like I know you girls, you have to travel with a lot more gear, but for me, it's like deodorant. Well, you do. I mean, I need
Yeah.
deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, stuff like that. So I have got a, the shaving kit. Is I guess
the
what you call it.
toiletry bag.
The toiletry bag. I've got one for travel that has everything I use on my day to day already in there.
Oh, that's smart.
So
Me
I don't,
too.
so I don't have to pull it out of the
That is
drawer
smart.
because
Yeah, like
so
if
it's
I've
just
got a
it's-
med, I might throw the medication
Well, yeah, I
in
mean,
there.
stuff like that. But I'm talking about like the deodorant and stuff like
Yeah.
that they use on a day to day. Already packed. All I got to do is zip it up, put it in my.
I've
put it in
even
my-
got my edibles. I got a side thing of edibles
that's-
already in my toiletry.
It's very
That's
smart.
smart.
Yeah.
That's very smart. I can't do that, but I feel like some of the stuff, like my face wash and stuff, I'm like, I don't want to buy
Yeah,
2 of
you don't want-
those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
the
know?
way you do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You'll have more stuff.
Just
Yeah.
put it down on the vanity before you pack
Yeah.
up, and you know you're not going to leave it.
Yeah. That's what I typically
Yeah.
do. Try.
We'll ask the biggest difference between traveling with Dunaway and Brown, Little T.
Ooh. I definitely yelled less yesterday. Like I didn't yell at Brown.
Well, I mean, now to be entirely fair, we were at an Alabama-Florida game. It didn't involve Auburn.
And yeah,
And I
you
wasn't-
didn't try to push my button.
I wasn't
guess.
actively trying to get under your skin.
Well, and I think the easiest thing, and you tell me if I'm wrong, like you don't have to twist Dunaway's arm to do whatever you want him to do. Brown, you might have to push a little bit more. Example, you guys got to Auburn a little bit early. You're like, let's go get a beer. Dunaway's like, I can't. I'm doing this, giving up alcohol for Lent.
Okay,
You're like, come on.
Okay, let me just make this clear that he manipulated the crap out of that story. The way that he told that story the next day was false. So I would just like to have that on record.
Right.
But
Well,
no,
what
it
really
was-
happened?
Well, first, to begin with, it was Dunaway's idea to go sit at the bar. So there was no arm twisting there. And I was like, that's fine. That's great. We can answer these Q&A questions and, we can accomplish everything we need to accomplish afterwards. So probably 5 minutes later, he was like, oh my gosh, I gave up alcohol for Lent. And I thought that he just did that because it was brought up on the show. I think I missed the first part of that conversation. And so I was like, okay, I said that's stupid. And he was like, why? And I was like, if you're just doing that because it was brought up on the show and like you're not doing it because
No, he's the one that brought it up. Like I didn't
Right.
bring it up because I brought up the fact that he really doesn't like alcohol that much, so it's not easy to. It's easy to give up something like that. It'd be like, man, I'm giving up golf for Lent.
yeah. And you're like,
Yeah,
you
you
don't do
never
it
play.
anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to give up basketball for the next 40 days.
Same. But so I didn't know that. And I thought that's what, and so I was like, that is stupid. I was like, why? And he was like, and now like, whatever. And so I just said, I don't think that you should do that. This is me still being confused. And then he told me that wasn't the case. And I said verbatim, I was like, oh, well, I feel bad that I just tried to discourage you from doing that if that was actually your decision. And I said, if you want to do it, I will support you. And we get to the bar. That was the end of the conversation. We get to the bar. The bartender comes up. What would you like? I said, can I get a Michelob Ultra, please? And for you, I'll do the same. And I was like, okay, I guess it's done. And then fast forward 45 seconds. Well, just realized I ordered a beer, so I guess my giving it up for Lent's done. So that is the true story.
I mean, like if you would have ordered a gimlet, he would have ordered a gimlet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but like, yeah.
Do you think though? And I know you were asked about this last night, and this wasn't for Lent. This was just I decided to do a dry month of February, and you got asked last night, is he still doing it?
How's it going with Lance? Is he still doing it?
I think there's probably a lot of people that believe that I have caved. I haven't. I don't care if you believe me or not. Do you guys think Dunaway during his little sabbatical staying home, do you think he had some bread?
Ooh.
Okay, well,
It'd be tough not
would
to.
be
I
tough.
think he has.
but we got into a large debate also on the same trip of what is bread and what's not, because we were on the way home and he was like, I'm so hungry. And I had a bag of chips in my backpack. And I was like, oh, I have this bag of chips. Like, do you want them? He was like, I can't because that's bread. And I was like, so you're giving up
potato.
That's what I said. So you're giving up carbs. And he said, no, I'm not giving up carbs. I'm giving up bread. I said, so what is like, this isn't a piece of
Define
bread.
that. Yeah,
Is it a
that's
piece of bread or is it a
Yeah.
carb? I was
It's
like,
a
what's
potato.
pasta? Is pasta bread?
No, pasta is a
noodle.
carb. Pasta's a carb.
Right.
I
so
had some
that's
pasta.
incredible pasta the other night. I was thinking about this. Like, I believe now I could give up bread because really the only things you're getting away from are sandwiches, burgers, and pizza.
Whoa,
Because the
burgers.
crust is bread.
That is
Yeah,
correct,
that's-
yes.
But outside of that,
No.
I mean, you can have any
Cake.
carb you want.
I'm like, if you're giving up bread, you can't do cake.
I would agree with
I don't really
each-
eat
I don't know. Is cake bread?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
cake is like a piece of bread
So
with
is
icing
pie
on
bread?
it.
No,
No.
well, the
Crust.
top
It's
is,
a
the
crust.
crust is, yeah.
Crust.
Yeah, you got to give
So
up cake
there's a
and pie.
big gray area.
I mean, I feel like it's flour. I guess he's giving up flour, basically.
I don't know if it's flour.
Boy, I
But
don't
is
know.
it flour in a French fry? Because if you fry something, then don't you put flour on it?
No.
Or is that
It's just a
Fries.
potato and
potatoes.
grease.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
potato. You're
fried
good there.
chicken, you
Oh,
got
fried
it right.
chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think
So-
potatoes would be more difficult to give up to
For
bread.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because, I mean, you think about how many different ways you do potatoes.
Boy, I'm glad I'm not giving that up.
Do you give up anything?
Well, I don't really observe Lent. You know the old saying, well, I'm a Southern Baptist, the only Lent's in my dryer.
Okay.
It's just not something that's done. I don't
Yeah,
you,
no.
you may do it.
No, I don't.
Do
I
you
never
observe
have.
Lent?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm trying to do something. Y'all are going to laugh at me.
No, I will not laugh
But
at you, little T.
so I was
promise.
like, I don't want to come up with something that
Yeah,
I don't like actually want to do just because.
right.
And so I'm forcing myself
Tell
to
me you're trying to become a medium.
what?
A medium.
Like,
Like,
not size-wise, but like somebody that reads minds.
No, like, yeah. I mean, you're like, you can like
Yeah.
cross
Fortune
over.
teller.
Okay.
No, I don't really know how to do that, but and I have no interest. But no, I'm forcing myself. I'm not giving up something. I'm doing something. When I'm at work, I'm forcing myself to every time I arrive or leave or go get something for my car, I'm taking the stairs every single time.
that's
I do too. I
And-
gave up elevator. Now I did it.
Yeah, so I guess
earlier
I gave
today.
up the work
Yeah.
elevator.
I gave up elevator for 2024. Yeah.
The whole year?
Yeah.
Have
I
you
mean,
done
I've
that
used
Only
it.
in our building.
I've used it a couple of times in a pinch. Like I forgot my cell phone in the car and we were about to start the show and I had to get there quickly
Yeah,
because we are on the 4th floor.
yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, I've been, especially going up, I use
Yeah.
nothing but the
And there's the days that we're leaving for trips, like I'll come to work in my normal work clothes, and then like change into something that looks a little more presentable. So I'll like go downstairs and get my clothes, and then come up and change in the bathroom, and then go back down. I don't know why I go to the 4th floor now that I think about it, but then I work out those days basically because I go back and forth
Yeah.
so much.
So is this only in our building? You've given up elevators?
I don't really go on elevators
I
anywhere
haven't
else.
been in an elevator in another building.
Wow.
Now, if I go see our representation, I'm not going to
Yeah,
West
that's
Bingham on what
new.
floor is that?
We're 18th floor there, aren't we? Something like that.
That's a
Yeah.
hard pass.
Yeah.
You
negative
gotta
on
leave
that.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying
You
to
gotta
do
work
that.
on the schedule.
Yeah. Well, there. I did not know we were going to talk about Lent.
I didn't.
I
you
just.
know,
I've never
I brought
really
up
observed it.
packing, Lent,
Yeah.
different things.
Leslie's going to join us. You want to come on in, Leslie? Who?
You can.
All right. You come over here on Little T side. Don't go too far. We'll bring you back.
So I saw Leslie in the portal coming in,
Right.
and I yelled, and she was like, "I heard you guys needed a point guard," and I was like, "We needed something because our overall shooting percentage I want to say is around 10%.
Right.
We didn't have anybody that could handle. Nobody was in shape. Pathetic rebounding, blocking out. Hustle board was awful. People just let the ball go out of bounds instead of diving for it. We could have used you today.
We could have.
I could have been here. I didn't know.
Oh, I got happy out there, Leslie. There you go. This is Leslie Claybrook, by the way, the general manager of the squadron.
We
What
still
is
got
going on here?
Yeah, it's got to wrap it around the other way.
There we go.
So do you
Okay,
catch
there
yourself
we go.
like in a perfect world?
Oh, wait, flip them around. Flip them all the way around.
Flip 'em all.
And we're
There we
professional
go.
operation
Perfect
here, Leslie.
world, it disrupt media.
There we go. Wait,
Yeah.
and then get the cool.
We would have-
There we go.
We would have our own basketball court because
Yeah.
I would much rather, instead of swimming or getting on a treadmill or pelotoning, I would rather my cardio be pick up basketball. Do you find yourself out here shooting around during the day?
No, not much at all. I shot around about a week or so ago with our strength and conditioning coach and tried to put him to shame, but unfortunately he got the better of me. But he's also out here every day practicing with the team,
That's
so he's
true.
getting shots
To work
up.
out.
I was not. But I do enjoy coming over and watching them practice, but I just don't get out there with them. I don't want to embarrass them.
Were you a shooter at Bama, though?
No, I wasn't a point guard either. So, but
Yeah.
I like to tease that I was a point
Yeah.
guard because you're always,
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you could play a point on our team.
there you go.
For sure.
Yeah, we were not very good. We think it would be a really good Netflix show, though, if we were in the G League. Our team we had our group of people just in the G League trying to get a win.
Bestseller.
I think
I
it'd be a
mean,
great Netflix
Yeah,
show.
I'd watch it.
Hit
Yeah.
TV, yeah.
Well, you're gonna be
I
able
know,
to win.
right?
Yeah.
If we could stay within 70 points.
Lance, we wouldn't score. I don't
I
think
don't
we
think
would
we'd
get a
score.
point.
Because-
No, we would
Hey,
score. I think because they would start to lag off and
Yeah.
give us a perimeter, and I think we would hit a couple of threes.
Leslie asked us who had the bragging rights, and
Yep.
truthfully, no one. We didn't have.
No, there was no bragging.
And there was no claiming. Nobody
There was-
like claimed it right off the bat.
No.
So it must have been a tough day.
We had individual awards, I would say, but nothing spectacular to write home about.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it a go next time. You're welcome
Yeah.
back anytime.
We've got
We've got
video.
8 more games.
Yeah, people are going to love the video. All right, so the Maine Celtics are in town tonight. We were talking about their logo. I like the way they incorporated the lobster in the old school Celtics logo. I actually think that's pretty cool.
I think it looks great. And I'm a Celtics fan from way back when. Robert Parrish, Larry Bird, and those guys were there. So
We were
right up my alley.
asking the young ones their favorite Celtics. Taylor couldn't name one. She
I
went
said
Larry Bird. Who
Okay.
was yours?
Larry Bird was pretty close. Robert Parrish. Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
So,
Brought up Kevin
Mention
McHale.
Nobody says Danny Ainge or Dennis Johnson.
oh, yeah.
If you guys were the Birmingham Celtics, I would hope that Maine would take advantage of the old parquet court. Do they? Do they have a parquet court?
I don't know about that. But that's iconic Boston, right?
Yeah,
So you would think that they would have to.
Northeast, I would try to take advantage of that. Do they have lobster rolls at the games, you think?
I would say yes, definitely. I'm going to ask that question
Oh.
because I'll be there next year if they do.
I'm kind of not a lobster roll guy.
Really?
Mm,
Do you like it,
Oh,
Richie?
I love them.
Do you like a lobster roll?
I do.
So Leslie,
yeah.
we had when we first started the building we're at right now. So we became a tenant. Was it June of 21?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, June of 21.
Well, really August of 21, yeah.
They would roll up food trucks, which they don't do anymore. which
I
is weird.
know. New
But-
management group quit bringing them in.
There was a food truck that did a lobster roll, and I think the lobster roll was like $25.
It was.
wasn't it?
It was
Wow, that's
so
a little
expensive.
pricey.
It was like $32 for a lobster roll and a drink. I was like, my gosh, did I feed a family of 4? And then I get up there, the lobster roll was like that big.
Oh, wow. No,
Yeah.
that would definitely be a splurge.
Yeah, it definitely was. All right, so Maine is in town for 2 games. So we got 2 games here for the Squadron, and we talk about it when we do the commercials. This is just a really cool environment to come watch some professional basketball, bring a group, church group or school group or whatever, and have a good time.
Absolutely. And people kind of follow teams based on their win-loss record, and that's unfortunate in the G League because it's not always about winning. It's about developing players and putting a great product out there and running the systems that the New Orleans Pelicans are running.
Right.
So it doesn't always translate into win. So our record may not be what people see and want to come and celebrate, but all of the other things surrounding the game, the great players that we have, the 5 call-ups that we've had this year, the in-arena experience that you get, the fun family atmosphere, the opportunity to see great quality basketball and just have a great time. Oh, and it's an indoor venue too, so you don't have the weather elements to deal with.
Yeah, it's an updated indoor venue too.
Yes.
I mean, Legacy Arena, if you haven't been since the update, it is fantastic. So, yeah, you don't have to deal with the weather. And come down here, get some good concession stand food and watch some basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. We're running a ticket special. We try to do this from time to time where you get ticket pricing plus concessions.
So a $15 ticket with a $10 concession. So that's great.
$5 beer.
$5 beer.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we're firing up the margarita machine tomorrow
I'm
for
on
margarita night.
February.
Drive February.
Oh, you skipped January? Nice.
Yeah, you can't do January. There's too much stuff going on. February's kind of a boring month, and I'm 1 week away.
There you go. Congratulations.
No, I appreciate
That's awesome.
that. I was talking about how iconic this building is as far as great events. Like I went to my first concert ever in this building. So a long time ago, it was Kiss, the Destroyer tour. But I have seen so much. I remember I saw Allen Iverson. The first time I ever saw him play in person was in this building.
Really?
Yeah. Georgetown was playing Arizona State.
Okay.
And that was in the regionals 1994, 1995, something around then. I saw Arizona knock off. I saw Providence beat Kansas in 1997. I will still stick by it. I think Kansas was maybe the best team to never win a national championship in 97.
Agree.
When you looked at that lineup, they were incredibly stacked. Providence ended up beating them, then Arizona in the regional final to go to a Final Four and ultimately win national championship. It's when Miles Simon and Mike Bibby got hot.
Yep. I remember watching North Carolina upset Stanford here. You remember that?
Yep.
That was an 8-1. North Carolina beat Stanford.
Brendan Haywood was going.
That is correct. Yeah, that was the I think that was the Bill Guthridge coach team that made the Final Four.
Yeah, and Teddy DePay in Florida knocked him off, and then ultimately Florida played Michigan State, and Michigan State won their one national championship under Izzo.
How about our memories of this building?
know.
You guys have great memories.
Paint the picture for me over here.
I know.
I saw Van Halen here in 1984, which was that was a David Lee Roth Van Halen. Yeah,
Classics.
Yeah.
But I mean, what they did here in Birmingham with this facility and renovating and putting over $120 million is just unbelievable. And the venue that it is, not only for concerts, but for basketball. There's not a bad seat in the house. We saw it last year with the NCAA men's tournament here and the crowds that we had and the excitement surrounding that. The women are coming next year here with their Sweet 16, and then hopefully we'll get back into the NCAA bid cycle and have some more college basketball here.
Yeah, I would hope. You know, I was looking at the different sites for the next. I think they're knocked down through 2027, and obviously Birmingham doesn't have one. But I thought we did such a good job hosting, and it was a perfect storm having both Alabama and Auburn in the building. But I don't know why Birmingham wouldn't get that back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but it's the NCAA, right? So they've got their own opinions and ideas of where they're going to distribute championships and revenue and cities that they're interested in. But the
attendance could have been better anywhere else, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't think obviously Alabama and Auburn played a role in it, but this is a basketball community here in Birmingham. You look at the success that Alabama and Auburn having UAB, men and women, Samford, Troy. I mean, this state embraces basketball and celebrates it. And with the renovations now, we'd stack up against any city wanting to host.
Yeah, and the entertainment center down here, everything nearby. All right, so Maine Celtics in town for 2 games. And Birmingham will host those games. And you come, like I said, bring the groups. They are fun to bring. I am looking for the phone number. Do you know the phone number off the top of your head? I had it right here, and my phone shut down.
Oh, Dawson's going to have to help me here. 205.
Here we go. 205-719-0850.
There we go.
719-0850. I had to pull up my phone shut down, so I had to find it again. 205-719-0850 or BirminghamSquadron.com. I knew the website. To get tickets to the Squadron games.
So what is halftime tonight? Because Dawson was telling us about Red Panda was here not long ago.
It's basketball. Girls basketball. It's coming.
Fun.
Some teams from Mountain Brook are coming out and they're going to play on the court, and they're little bitty too. So they'll be super cute. The last couple
If you ever want us to come out and show up our skills,
we can play a game.
Okay. Let's do it.
Little 3-on-3.
Yeah, 3-on-3. You do half court.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to.
Yeah, we ain't running.
You know what I was trying to pull.
The last couple of times, speaking of groups, we've had great opportunities for kids to come out with their basketball teams and play. The last 2 games we've had game winners. One of them was from midcourt. Knocked it down. I think we've had it on our social somewhere, but it's pretty exciting. So hopefully we'll get a game winner tonight.
What was the movie, The Miami Tropics with? No, they weren't the Tropics. Yeah, they were the Tropics with Will Ferrell.
Semi-pro, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And didn't somebody hit a half-court shot and they didn't want to pay it? He's like, oh God, that's not y'all though. Y'all pull for it to hit half-court. Right?
Absolutely, we cheer and we pull forms.
Do you remember that?
I do. That's so funny. I like that. All right, so look, my phone shut down again, Leslie. I've got it though now. 205-719-0850, 205-719-0850 for tickets, BirminghamSquadron.com. Game tonight, game tomorrow night against the Maine Celtics right here at Legacy Arena.
Oh, and JD Davison.
I saw
gonna
that.
be
He's
here,
part- yeah.
so
Yeah, he's
got a
part
big
of the
crowd coming,
Maine
so we're excited
Celtics.
about him and welcome him back to Alabama. I hope we can get a W on him, but look forward to having him showcase his
I'll
talents here.
play over 3.5 turnovers for him tonight.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Think so? Think we turn it
Well,
over?
I mean, he was good at turning the ball over when he was in state before.
Leslie, thank you for hosting us again. It's
Yeah.
always fun.
Love to have you guys out. Appreciate you promoting the squadron and love for the community to continue to embrace us and come out and see some high-level
And
basketball.
thanks for the gear.
That's right.
looking
Yeah.
good.
Geared us up. Look at
Yeah.
us. Look at us. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Leslie Claybrook. She is the general manager of the Birmingham Squadron, birminghamsquadron.com. Our 205-719-0850, 205-719-0850. All right, little T, they're complaining about, see those two on the right, the far right? No, the two sliders on the far right. Come on down, all the way down, right there. Yeah, keep coming. No, keep going right, keep going right there. Pull those down. Pull those down about midway. Uh-huh. Keep going right there. And now those two next to it, pull those down midway. There you go. Now the four on the far left, pull those down just a little bit. There we go. All right. People are complaining about the sound, so Little T's going to fix the
friend
sound.
from
You're good.
our
Thank you.
friend Brett from New Mexico said the Maine Celtics do a lobster toss at halftime.
Do you believe that?
Cool.
I mean, Brett is one of those guys that's been everywhere. So, I mean, I could see him bored and, between meals, maybe walking in and saying, I will check out the Maine Celtics tonight. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been to Maine. That is a state I'd like to go to.
Yeah.
You been to Maine,
I have
EG?
not been to Maine.
Little T?
No, I think my parents went last
Yeah.
year, maybe. For is there something there called the changing of the colors
Oh, the leaves.
or something?
You go to
Like
see
people go during a certain time of
yeah,
year
you go
for
in
like
the fall.
something. Yeah, I think they participated in that.
I would like to do the Martha's Vineyard thing,
That'd
but
be
it
cool.
seems like you've almost got to pick the right time of year. Like that water would be freezing outside of August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really gotten the appeal to Martha's Vineyard. Like, I doubt you can, I mean, maybe 6 weeks out of the year you can get the ocean there.
Wait, what is that?
That's just off the coast of Massachusetts.
It's
an
beautiful.
island.
Like it's,
Oh,
an
it's
island?
really, really
Picturesque.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awesome looking scene, but to me, it always strikes me as you got to be rich to go to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, it sounds like a rich
Yeah.
place.
I think I would like to go if it's an island.
Vineyard Vines, that's where they started, right?
Is it really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh.
that.
Vineyard Vines.
I would rather go
I
other
feel like
islands.
that started on an SEC campus.
I
But
know.
Yeah, so do I.
yeah, if
You-
I'm going to go to an island, I'm going to go to the
Yeah,
Caribbean.
there's other
Yeah.
islands.
Yeah.
But like if I'm offered to go to any island, I'm never going to say no.
Yeah, the problem with Maine,
Oh.
from what I hear,
I don't
is
know
the
about that.
flight in. Like,
Well,
there's
yeah.
you've only got like one or two airports.
Right?
Mm.
I think it's Bangor and Augusta, maybe,
Yeah.
and you got to drive all over the state.
Wait, what's it? Martha's Vineyard?
Tommy says Maine is awesome in the fall.
Okay,
That's what
I'm about
Tommy
to
says.
look up this
the
place.
leaves apparently are insane.
Yeah, I'd like to go. I've
I
never
would
been to
too.
Maine.
I wonder though if you're in Maine, if you roll into a sports bar or just a regular bar on a Saturday, if they've got college football on. Maine doesn't seem like it would be a hotbed for college football.
I feel like they don't have sports bars.
No, but they used to have a good team. You remember they were 1AA back in the day.
Bears?
The Black Bears.
They
I think.
beat Sly Crew.
Yeah, I think they upset Mississippi State.
Yeah, they're
it's like
homecoming. And I remember the Maine Black Bears being in the College World Series, which is really weird
That is
because when can
really
you play
strange.
baseball in Maine? You can't play baseball till April. at
Yeah,
least.
absolutely. Yeah.
Crazy.
How do they even have home games? Little T's over here doing a Google image search
Yeah,
Martha's Vineyard. You
I've
want to go
never
now?
seen it. Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks like a cool small town that probably
Yeah.
has like some.
Bracket challenge. Somebody's got to go to Martha's Vineyard.
I'm
that
in.
sounds like
Sounds
a bracket.
win.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds like a
that's a-
bracket.
Sign me up
ride.
for that one because I'll probably be the one that goes.
Hey, I did want to ask you two because one of the three of us will lose the bracket challenge again. And I heard there are rumors that people have been discussing the bracket punishments inside of our offices. I haven't heard any of these. Have you guys discussed this?
Look at that smile.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Okay, so EG has. How about you?
Well, just tell me this. I'm not going to ask you what they are. Obviously, you're not going to tell us, but are they good?
I mean, truthfully, I have not heard. I know that it's like y'all, it's been in the works, but I have not been briefed on the full extent of them.
They're good.
Oh,
Or I know
little T knows.
One is good. I
only know
forgot
one
the.
as
I
well.
Huh?
I only know one as well.
Now,
Probably
here
the same one,
is
you think?
good to me. We absolutely don't want to do it. So, although it ended up turning out good for me 2 years ago when I had to take the trip out west.
yeah, and
I
stay
thought
at
they
the
were
Ritz.
nice to me by sending me to Salina, Kansas, and getting back. They could have sent me to Seattle. It's got to be something we don't want to do and something that everybody else loves watching us hate doing.
Yeah, well, I think that it needs to be entertaining for the viewer is the main thing, and it's hard to find.
She wants the
something,
content. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find something that meets all the criteria that we're looking for it to meet. You know what I'm saying?
It needs to be personalized. As
Well,
well,
and it needs to be creative. Like it's so you see other people do this stuff, and you're like, why wouldn't I think of that? But it's hard to think. I mean, you'll come across some things, but just sitting down and brainstorming, it's hard to be like, that's it.
I mean, we've done some good ones though. I mean, the stand-up comedy for
that
Yeah,
one
I wish
heard.
I wish you two could have been around for that.
I watched the video. One of y'all showed it to me.
Oh, is there
and it was-
video?
Yes.
I don't know. Have
I
you
s-
seen it, EG?
Yeah, I've seen like a clip of it.
Oh,
The full
I
thing
think-
is someone has the full thing because I
I
stayed.
think Dunaway sent me something.
I think that was his Super Bowl thing.
oh, when he cross-dressed.
Yeah.
I did-
that
I
was
have seen that.
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
I
Yeah,
can't. Maybe
it was.
Reed showed it to me. I can't remember, but I did watch it one time, and it was like very painfully long. That one,
Yeah.
or I guess that's
Oh,
probably
it
the
was
only
like
time he does.
25 minutes. I mean, he wasn't bad. I know you say painfully long, but he got laughs. He was entertaining. It just went forever. And he says he blacked out and didn't know how long it went. The trips, I have been able, I'm kind of like you, Lance, like none of the trips I particularly wanted to go on, but I've been able to make them fun, at least while I'm there. But I mean, there's still a pain to get to. Do you know how hard it is to get to Monowike, Nebraska?
Oh. Well, I remember
I mean, that
going
was awful.
to Amish country. I had to fly to Philadelphia. Dunaway had got me the smallest rental. Like if I get in a crash, I am completely dead.
Like a smart car.
It was basically like that.
Oh,
And
I would
I had to
love to-
drive across rural Pennsylvania
Lance, all but-
in the snow to get to this farmhouse that had a Raggedy Ann and Andy above my bed.
Didn't
Oh.
you go to a
And no
music
lights.
festival?
I did. Oh, I had a good time.
Who was the Amish contact?
It was just a farmhouse that he had found, like a Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or it was a bed and breakfast.
Were there other people living in the community with you?
Yeah, I went to the wrong house at first. And man, this guy, like there was this awful smell of like bad chicken that they were cooking.
Ew.
And I knocked on the door. They had all these dogs in their house. He had an eye shooting this way and an eye shooting that way. Yeah, it was scary.
That
Yeah.
is terrifying.
You thought it was like the dolls might have moved at night or something, didn't you?
Yeah, it was weird. But I'll tell you, downtown Lancaster, not a bad
Cool.
town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to fly into Omaha.
I told you
Yeah.
the story of my Mucinex jacket.
It's from
Yeah.
Amish country.
Yeah.
I got it there.
I had to fly into Omaha, and it's a good 2.5 hour drive to Monowai. Monowai is on the South Dakota border.
Yeah,
I had to sleep
you
in
did
South
that in the
Dakota.
ice too, right?
Yeah, I mean, so they were very kind to me because I was supposed to stay 48 hours in Monowai. Well, when I did the research, I was like, guys, there is literally nowhere to sleep there.
Yeah.
The closest hotel is in Yankton, South Dakota.
Yankton.
Yankton, South Dakota, awful name, right? Right across the border. So they're like, well, of course you could sleep there, but you got to spend the day in Monowai. So I get there and I spend the day until it's time to go to sleep. And so I go, I stay in her little tavern. It's the one-person town,
Did
Monowai,
you go to
Nebraska.
Yankton though?
But I slept in Yankton, South Dakota, and then the next day I drove back. But when I got up the next day, I turned on the local TV, and they're like, we have got blizzard conditions coming to Nebraska.
Oh no.
And starting tomorrow night, you need to be where you're going to stay for 72 hours.
Oh,
Wait, how is there
So-
a one-person town?
airport.
I'll get to that in a second. So I
What was the lady's name?
Miss Elsie.
Miss
I
Elsie.
can't remember her last name.
She probably needed somebody to spoon with.
So,
at 72
yeah,
hours.
keep her warm.
Mm.
So I call Lance and Dunaway, and I'm like, guys, I am in Nebraska, and they're warning you to stay there for 72 hours.
Oh,
I was like, do you know how bad this weather is going to be? Y'all got to let me
You
out.
think I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, Lance at first. Oh, Brown.
making it up.
I'm like, seriously? Yeah, look, I think they actually Googled it. They're like, yeah, there is a historic blizzard coming through. So they let me come
Wow.
back to Omaha. But I slept in Omaha, and the next morning I woke up. I was at an airport right next to the stadium where they play the
Yeah.
College World Series, less than a mile to the airport from there. I woke up, and it took me an hour to drive to the airport. That's how slow I had to drive because the roads were basically iced.
That is awful.
So it's a one-person town. Miss Elsie, she lives in the town. I'll show you. I may be able to find it. I've got a photo. She lives in the town, and she's the only person that lives there.
How? So there's no store?
She runs it. There's a tavern that she
Little
runs.
convenience
Is she
store.
still upright?
As far as I know, I've not seen that she died. But as far as I know, she is still with us.
How
So
tiny is it?
there's Monowai, population 1. Oh, it's tiny.
Wow.
It's just a store, and then there's Miss Elsie.
I
Oh,
want to see Miss Elsie.
oh my gosh, she looks so
Oh,
sweet.
she's so sweet.
I can't believe you left her in a blizzard by herself.
She's got family there.
I
There's
thought it was
like a town
population
over?
1.
Well, I mean, there are other towns nearby. I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere.
How do you find yourself as the only population of a town?
She runs the post office, the
Yep.
bar, was there
it's
a
a bar
lodge?
/ restaurant and a post office.
What a
She runs
column.
both of them.
So they can't all be open at the same time. There's
Well,
like
she
shifts.
lives right on the property.
There's no
Oh,
bank
so-
though, right?
No,
How
there's
easy
no
would it be
bank.
to knock off that
I
bank?
know, Miss Elsie.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah. It's sweet lady. And she made me breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah.
And lunch and dinner probably.
yeah,
if that
I
was
mean,
the
Like
only
the
place
Men
to
at
get-
Work song, Down Under.
Yeah. And I sat there and talked, so the farmers will do their morning work, and then they'll come get lunch there,
Yeah.
and then they'll go back and do their afternoon work, and they come have beers.
So she has a steady flow of people.
And they were all, yeah. I mean, it's like there was like 6 or 10 people in there, 6 or 10 people, and they were all like talking to us. So you're from Alabama, and then like they would
Wow.
take rotations, just Nebraska here, Nebraska football, and I mean they were very, very nice people.
That's cool.
It was
is
very nice
crazy.
people, and that's where I learned about I think it's a red eye, where you pour the tomato juice in the beer. They all pour tomato juice in the beer.
That
I'd
is
never seen that.
interesting.
That was you never saw the movie Cocktail?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
that's right. So they would drink the top off the beer, and they had like everybody. There was just a can of tomato juice in the freezer, and they would pour the tomato juice.
That's
And-
disgusting.
And Miss Elsie went back to her house, so they just get the beer and they mark it on the little
Oh,
tab.
that's cool.
Oh, it's the honesty policy.
Yeah, honesty policy. I mean, it was a really cool place. I mean, I love that the people were so incredibly nice. They thought it was cool that I came all the way from Alabama and did it because I lost the bracket challenge and all those things.
Imagine that like you're in your hometown and you're like, yeah, I had to come here as a This is my punishment.
I mean, they got.
They were probably entertained by it.
Yeah, I think they get it. I think they know it's in the middle of nowhere.
Somebody did submit an incredible punishment, and it was right after we executed last year's.
Yeah.
And I
You've been
lost
trying
it.
to think of
I
it for
can't figure it
since
out.
last year.
Like I thought of a good one. One of us, you have to get arrested, spend the night in jail, and then
Oh.
have charges dismissed.
Like you have to actually get arrested. So you have to commit a crime.
we can't
Yeah,
just
but I
get
mean,
the police stuff.
There are some like misdemeanors that they would arrest you for if you pushed it enough.
Like eluding the cops.
Well, like if you got a public intoxication and then you kept chirping a little bit, they're going to take you in.
And then Spina, we hire Spina. He gets us all.
Yeah.
Gets the charges dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a heck of a punishment, right there.
That
It is my fear.
Getting arrested? I
No, spending time in jail.
Oh.
This is like one of our friends. He got arrested and he panicked so bad because he thought he was going to get raped in county. And I'm like, dude, you're doing 24 hours till you get bailed out. I was at the beach and he's calling me nonstop. You got to come get me. I'm like, I'm not leaving my vacation. He's like, well, what's going to happen to me? I'm like, you're going to lay around and they're going to feed you a biscuit and then you're going to get bailed out.
A biscuit.
Yeah, you're not going to get shanked in county.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, I gotta go do something real quick. Hang on.
Y'all keep talking. Go do it. So anyway, I am very interested in this. I'm trying to get creative and help you guys out with the bracket challenge. I don't feel like me losing it 2 years ago. I don't feel like I would lose 2 or 3 years. Brown has lost about 75. Dunaway's lost twice. I've lost twice. We've been doing the bracket challenges now for 12 or 13 years. So Brown is year in, year out, typically the guy that does lose. One of the best payoffs ever. He was supposed to be an Uber driver.
And
That
yeah,
could be
we hear about that a
interesting.
lot still.
That gets brought up. I tapped out of that one. I'm not gonna lie. I tapped out of that one.
That
But they let me out. Now, to be fair, they agreed on an alternate punishment for me to get out of that. I had to.
I told him there's no way he could do a sub 10-minute mile. And
Ooh.
so we
ran
had
around
a
the
rough
building.
estimate of a mile around our old building. And so he did that. So, yeah, he was off the hook.
Yeah. New Balance. In fact, we called our buddy Wes McClooney New Balance of Birmingham, and he brought running shoes, running shorts, and a running shirt. And it was
Fully
frigid.
So you actually got free gear out of that.
I did. I get free
Now,
gear.
can you be honest and tell us the reason you didn't want to? I think I know why you didn't want to do Uber. I thought the Uber payoff was one of the easier ones, though.
And I do. Well, all right. So 2 reasons. Number one, just honestly, I just didn't really want to do it. I mean, if I'm being blunt with you. But number 2, I didn't think like we're going to have a great payoff. Like now, I mean, if you want to make it a punishment now, I'll gladly accept it because I would bring little T along for it'd be almost like taxi cab confessions.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well, what is
Yeah,
there
we
a
could get the
rule?
content. I just
see. I thought that you were afraid that somebody's going to put you in a trunk.
nah, not really.
See, I thought it was a safety thing.
No. I wasn't really afraid of anything. I just thought it wasn't going to be great content because it was just going to be me telling stories. Like, all right, so this first guy Ubered, you know.
I see.
And what if you just get like businessmen that are traveling for work and they just like get in a suit with a briefcase and put headphones in and then you just take them to their
It's
hotel
hit or miss.
or whatever,
Yeah.
you know?
And I don't know how we would do it too. Like, would they have to sign a waiver if Taylor's in the car with us? You know, a
Yeah,
video or something like that?
videoing. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
And you can't you have to confirm the ride. So if you meet them and they don't want to be on camera, you still have to take them wherever.
Yeah,
That's
but I
right,
still
yeah.
think it would be easy to not even like circumvent Uber and Lyft altogether. And if you just put like if you went online and printed out a logo and stuck it on your windshield and you went to Lakeview on a Friday or Saturday night, there are so many people trying to get
Yeah,
an
that's
Uber.
terrifying.
We did that in Statesboro. There was a neighborhood. It's called Burkhalter, and it's like the infamous where you want to live kind of place. And it was called the Burke Uber. And he had this big sticker on his car, and he would take people to and from all the bars and back to their houses, and people would use him over Uber.
That's terrifying though.
But it was one everyone knew that guy. It wasn't like he had to establish it, but
I've done this a million times. I've not like crowded towns when something's going on and I can't get an Uber. I'll knock on a
Oh,
windshield. And I'll be like,
yeah.
"Hey, can I pay you to take me?" I did it when Tennessee beat Alabama for the first time in forever last year in Knoxville.
That's right.
There was a group of us and we were going to a party and it was on the outskirts of Knoxville and we couldn't get anything out of there. So I went and knocked on this guy's window and he ended up taking us and he had some really crazy stories. He hated his mom and I think he was about to kill her. I mean, he was
Wow.
my God.
Hey.
yeah. I'm telling you, he was telling us some crazy ass stories that night. But I mean, we paid him. He came in, had a couple of drinks at the party, and left.
So
I
you,
did.
Let my believer says WTF, Lance. How are you still alive?
I know
that's my fault.
I get freaked out about Uber. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
terrifying.
the legit Uber.
No, I had someone that
Well,
It-
you shouldn't. You guys.
Yeah, y'all
I
got to be
remember
super
when
careful.
we used to hang out a little bit more, little T. I was like, you are not taking Ubers alone.
my parents were telling me a story about it was in Birmingham too. And it was I think this past summer there were two girls. I think they were in college, but back in Birmingham at home,
Mhm.
and they got in an Uber and you know how you can track where you're going? Like
Yeah.
it gives you the map on your phone and you can kind of see if you're staying on track. And they started going the opposite direction of where they were supposed to go. And they were like, "Sir, what's going on? Where are we going?" And I'm pretty sure he just wasn't saying anything. Like he wasn't responding.
Ooh.
And so they get to like kind of the middle of nowhere. And they're like, "We don't know really where we are." And he's not answering us. And like, we are not going towards our house. And they were like asking him to stop the car, all this stuff. And they called the police in the back of it. Like they're in this man's car. They called the police and the police came and they ended up finding out that they were like a mile and a half away from where the guy lived. And that's why my parents were like, you do not ever and it's just scary. But now they do that thing where you can also share your
Yeah,
ride.
sure, ride.
So like you can send it. I could send it if I was Ubering from here. I could send it to all of y'all, and y'all would get notified when I get home and all
We
that.
all please do that. We all do that.
Well,
Okay.
we did that in LA. Remember when I had to
Oh,
get
yeah, that's
work?
right. Yeah, we did.
We did
Yeah.
that.
I if I take an Uber around here, I know where I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
so I could tell something was off. But if I'm out of town, I don't pay attention to
Well,
it.
and it's like if
Like-
they put like child lock on the car or something, and you literally can't get out.
I always say that I'm like, even if it's like in Atlanta or wherever, I say that I'm visiting there, that I don't live there. Like if wherever they're picking me up from, it's not my house.
Oh, that's smart.
Because I always,
Yeah.
and it's all of my dad's.
Well, and I would say, my two best friends or my two brothers are running a little late, but they're meeting me.
That's what I
Yeah.
always say.
Already
So,
at this place.
They're Navy SEALs.
in
Yeah.
Europe,
Yeah.
listen to this. So in Europe this past summer, it was in Paris, and it was me and my best friend, and we went with like a travel group, and we were hanging out with these other two girls, super sweet, and we wanted to see the Eiffel Tower light up at night. And so we're hanging out around, and it was past midnight there because that's when it lights up. And these guys would not leave our friend alone. And it was because she was a natural blonde, like platinum, like Scandinavian blonde. And they kept talking about her hair, would not leave us alone. And
Like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones.
yes, that's what she looks like. and they would not leave us alone, not leave us alone. And I get like overly paranoid in that situation because it just freaks me out. So I was saying the whole trip that my dad works for the U.S. government. If anyone approached me, I was like, my dad, I'm here.
So is this not a couple of girls bitter because y'all aren't getting hit on like she is? I'm just asking
No.
questions. Okay.
No. They wouldn't leave her. But it was like they were like grabbing her and like pulling her. And we were like, no. And she'd be like, no, we're not insured. And they like wouldn't leave. And so the moment that I said,
That's what a
we're
taser's
meeting-
for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't take that on a plane though, can you?
No.
No, you can't.
Pepper
You can
spray.
buy one though in Paris.
Yeah, in Paris. So basically, the moment that we said that we were meeting our brothers at this spot and they were like about to walk up, these guys scram, like gone.
Oh,
Did not stick
so
around.
sketchy.
And we were like, oh my goodness. Like they would so persistent. And then we said, our brothers are pulling up right now. And they were like, before they even could process that.
Yeah, well, if you want to see how to get abducted, it's not a good movie, but the first Taken with Liam Neeson,
Oh,
I
his
think
daughter
I've
and her
heard of
friend
that.
do everything the wrong way.
That's right. Yeah, do the opposite of what they did.
I'm so paranoid though,
Same.
and like
That's every girl's biggest fear is getting taken.
Well, we
for
had-
sure.
this is way too long of a story to tell right now, but we had a one of my roommates had a legitimate stalker in college, and that traumatized me forever.
Was it an ex-boyfriend?
No, we don't know who it was. It was a man.
Oh, I remember you talking
yeah,
about this.
it was,
Yeah.
and ever since then, I'm like,
That's the guy you buried, right?
shut up. I would have liked to.
You and the roommates dismembered him in the tub, and
No, we were all so scared. I wanted to come home for a little because it was like I couldn't sleep. It
I
was not
would.
good.
BirminghamSquadron.com. Tickets,
Yeah.
by the way. BirminghamSquadron.com. They got the main Celtics, M-A-I-N-E, Celtics in town tonight and tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Legacy Arena.
okay. So I was in acting classes for a while,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like they're running sides
Yeah.
over there.
Looks like doing a script read.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Going through the rundown.
I think they're just going through the rundown
The
of
old-
when everything happens.
The
I
old
guess.
table
Yeah.
read.
The old table read. My wife and my daughter both have a thing called Birdie.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those?
Uh-huh.
Do you have one?
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, so it's
That'd
like
be a no.
it's about that big, and it's got a little handle that pops into it. So the whole thing's about that big.
Mhm.
And when you pull the handle out, it
It's like-
flashes
Oh, yeah.
like it'll blind you,
Yeah.
and the ear-piercing squill.
So-
I have that. I have one of that. I didn't know it was called that, but I
Yeah.
have one of those. It might still be in my backpack, honestly.
Yeah. So all you got to do is separate it, and it's blinding, flashing, and it's an ear-piercing squill.
I would say if Dunaway wasn't watching, which I know he is, I would love for you to pull that out on set. one day when he's not prepared.
He'd jump out of his skin because you're supposed to test them, and I tested it in the house after I got them for Jennifer and Anna.
How
Kay,
loud?
Or after they got them, it's ear-piercing.
Awful.
Have you ever done it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The worst I think I had mine in my purse once because this was during the stalker situation. My dad got all of these like security gadgets and sent them to us in Auburn just to make us feel better. And I had
I've got
that
the
thing in my
bracket
purse.
challenge when you get
Uh-oh.
home. I've got it figured out.
Okay, wait, you go. This story
No,
isn't that
no,
interesting.
no, go ahead.
Have some faith. Have
No,
some comment.
it's
I'll tell you
just-
if it's a good story or not.
No, well, it's just about those things. I had one of those in my purse, kind of like my iPad alarm yesterday, but I had it in my purse and the thing pulled out. I was like rummaging through it trying to get something and I couldn't locate like both of the things because
Oh,
the one I
no.
don't know if it's the same thing that y'all have because it doesn't flash, but it's little. And so it's piercing this loud noise and I'm like sitting there frantically trying to put the pieces back together. That's all.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, it was
story.
loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So-
not a bad story.
Where can you get a birdie?
You can go online.
I think you got to order them, don't you,
I
EG?
think- well,
Yeah.
they're at boutiques now, like
Yeah.
cute little boutiques.
I think
Amazon,
and they're
probably.
not expensive, so I think it's a
Here.
really good thing. A really good thing for any female to have.
Yes.
So here's the bracket challenge. The good
You got
is
to
you,
kidnap somebody.
you get to go to the final round of the Masters. The bad is on that
No.
final putt,
Oh,
you pull the
heavens,
birdie
no.
in the gallery.
You might get shot.
You
What would
get-
happen?
you would get
Arrest-
shot.
then you
They
would-
would snipe you from a pine tree.
How many times you been to Augusta, EG?
I have not been as much as my family has been. It's much less because unfortunately we have some bitterness. After the badge holder passes, that person cannot pass down their badges.
They used to be able to.
Used to be able to.
Yeah.
I think in 2015 they did
They
a thing where
changed
you
it.
could buy
Yeah.
more too. You could like add
Yeah.
a badge. So our badges were taken away. Not anything we did wrong, but we now are back in the system and we're going this spring.
Okay,
so
good.
very excited about that.
What,
So-
what's next? You can't inherit somebody's house.
I don't know. I mean, it's
They
ridiculous.
changed their policy. Yeah.
Wouldn't
it's weird.
everyone at one point they were just being I don't even know like how this works at all, but wouldn't there just be no one left if you couldn't pass that down your membership or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
But
what
they
the
could sell it.
Yeah, there's a market for
Yeah,
it.
there's such a good
Do
market.
you guys think it would be a good bracket challenge?
No.
And would we get canceled?
I'm like getting like I'm sweating for
Oh, I
you.
think it's
Oh,
incredible.
we would catch you know what for
You
that.
would not have.
Oh,
It would be. I think that you would spend the night in jail. Also, you
I
would do
don't-
all the
I don't think
challenges.
you would
You couldn't spend that. That's not illegal.
you just oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
My birdie.
Yeah, I don't. First of all, I'm not
I'd
certain.
be like, this guy grabbed my junk. It's not me.
Yeah, I guess you could get that through the gate. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Oh,
don't
you
know,
say that.
because
Oh, they're very
you
strict.
You can't do phones.
Yeah.
You can't do Apple Watches.
Yeah.
So my
Oh,
mom,
if you tape that to your leg, you're in.
This is like sneaking shooters into a football game. I
Yeah.
feel like is what we're talking
You
about.
don't go through metal detector.
No. Boy, that is.
Do you? I can't
no,
remember.
If the masters get to a point
I
where they've
know
got
you
a
do.
metal
You do.
detect you.
Yeah, yeah. You have to empty your pockets
empty
to
your
go through the.
pockets,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think you can get it in.
I mean, I'm
That's
like
part of the
sweating.
challenge.
Yeah.
And
Got to
like,
get it in.
oh no.
But,
No.
would it be
You'd be
enough to mess them up in
disgraced.
their back?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you did it at the right time. Oh yeah.
Can you
That
imagine?
would be
imagine?
so
Tiger
bad.
lips in.
Yeah.
He's gonna have one more Masters win.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. Yeah, I'm going to lose the bracket challenge. I get to go to Augusta. I'd be so nervous all day knowing I have to do it. And I wouldn't catch a break and it be some hated guy, Ian Poulter. No, I'm going to get
Yeah.
like Tiger.
Yeah.
This is the very last major, and I've got
Do
to
you
pull
think like the
Oh my
entire gallery would turn on you?
Yes,
you
yes.
get mauled.
EG's
Well,
right.
what
You
about
get
the
mauled.
idiots that go get in the hole?
They run them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is like
I don't see the difference in this and getting the hole.
This
no.
I
This-
think that I feel like you would perform very well at the Masters, like your presence. I think that like I'm trying to imagine myself in this environment. I would be atrocious. at
Why?
Just I feel like you have to like
No, it's not. It's not that bad.
it sounds like
no.
a strict private school.
No. It's not
It-
that bad.
It's I don't know. My mom's bridal luncheon was at Augusta National back in the day.
Wow, can't hide
And
it.
did-
I know.
you
I,
can't.
Can't hide
and
it,
so
EG.
my like it is terrifying to me to think before I even get back in good graces, I'm
Yeah.
associated with someone that
Associated.
Like-
Yeah,
she's
it's like,
associated with
It
Lance
was-
pulls
it
it and
was-
she's changing her Twitter bio
It's
as
an
fast as she
idea.
can.
I'm trying to throw
But
different things
honestly,
out there.
I think it would be harder to get to the final round to get a badge. I don't know.
Oh, we can make.
Oh,
that
we
happen.
could do that. You can buy the badge. I mean, it ain't gonna be cheap.
Oh, I
But
guarantee there's some
the-
sadistic people with money that if you were to do it, if you were to guarantee them, I will give you your money back if I don't do this, they would do it.
the very well, that's one thing is if you get caught, whoever holds that badge,
Yeah.
they're done forever.
Right. So
That'd be
You-
bad
you
for them.
think?
Well, yeah, they take their badge away. There's zero doubt about that.
one of my
Because you're technically, I don't think, supposed to sell.
Well,
it.
that's another thing. You've got to run too. So you got to try to get out of there.
How many security guards are there?
A
run out the
billion.
All of them.
All of them.
Every
Yeah.
single one. I don't think that you'd get away.
my best friend from college and roommate, she's from Augusta, and her family have badges, and they're just very particular about that, about
Yeah.
who they bring. Because if I am her guest and I do something wrong, it's on them.
yeah.
One of their friends, or this is like one of the stories that gets told. A girl brought her college friend. The college friend used a fake ID in Augusta, and the family lost their badges.
Imagine being that
I
friend.
know.
So she got busted for using a fake ID
Yeah.
to buy alcohol.
Yeah.
That place is too uppity. That's ridiculous.
I don't think that I would do well. there.
Yeah.
No, I
you and
think
I need
you'd-
to go tear it up there.
I
Yeah.
don't think that I was at the Regions tradition turning around. Shh, my dad was like, Taylor. And I was like, I yell naturally, and that just isn't
We
good
should all
for
go to the
golf.
Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I
it's
think
a-
that I would do good at the waste management.
Waste management. Yes. Number 16. I think we should do that one year. How to
It's going
show-
to change.
That
will,
seems
you
like-
Oh,
will
yeah,
never
they went
see waste
overboard.
management like it was.
Yeah,
before.
they went overboard this year. That's the problem.
So
I
you
think
could
we should
actually
go out.
pull off the Screaming Eagle or whatever it is, the birdie.
Oh,
The
it's a-
screaming
yes.
eagle.
Screaming.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
What about if you pulled it and dropped it? You're like, oh
Yeah,
my
who did
God.
this?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
There's
feel
probably
like the
cameras like in the bushes.
Birds have like eyes there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
It's
think
like-
you get caught, and it would be awful PR for us. Awful PR for us. Yeah, it's a bad idea. I mean, it's a funny
It
idea.
is.
It is
good.
funny.
Just throwing it out
Yeah,
there.
it's a bad idea.
Someone's
Good
gonna
thought.
do it eventually.
Good try.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah. Remember?
G Curbo suggests we do it at the John Deere Classic.
I don't know. Where's that one?
That is in like what do they call it? It's like the Quad Cities in Illinois. I think they're
Oh,
Illinois
that's in
and
the
Iowa.
4 states.
Yeah, yeah. Or I think there's 2 in Illinois and 2 in Iowa, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I could be wrong about this, but it's kind of a more laid back atmosphere.
Weren't you supposed to go to Waste Management this year, Brown?
I got invited to the Saturday round, which I'm glad I didn't go because they had awful weather. And a guy had sweet tickets, and I got invited, and I was like, y'all are going to laugh at this. But I told him, I was like, well, this was back in probably late October, early November. It was well in advance. And I said, the way the Dolphins are playing right now, I really need to save any money for the Super Bowl.
Oh,
And,
that's such a good fan.
And he said, well, he goes, it's no problem. I'll have them again next year. I probably need to move on to some other people if you can't go. I was like, yeah, don't hold them for me. I said, at last minute, if you've got any, and the Dolphins have, happened to lose.
Yeah.
So when the Dolphins got knocked out, I jokingly texted him, said, hey, I'm free now. He goes, unfortunately, I'm not going to have any.
Oh my
this year.
gosh, the videos that you could have gotten from
I
that
know.
place.
Oh my God.
But he says he gets them every year. So I think I've got a chance of going again.
Okay.
And there's sweet tickets because Lance has been, and he says, if you don't have the sweet tickets, don't bother.
Well, I think we
Why?
should all go next year.
Well,
Because it's so crowded.
it's too
Oh.
crowded.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's only gotten worse since you went because
Yeah,
you probably went a good decade ago, right? Or
I
longer.
went. Well, it was the we were in town for the Tom Brady 18-0 Patriots when they got upset by the New York Giants. So we went there on Saturday and the Super Bowl Sunday, but you couldn't get a drink. I don't know if you've ever been to the most think about the most crowded sporting event where the concessions were awful. That's what you got there.
Yeah.
How about this? The Lumberjack World Championships.
I'm in.
Do you have to compete?
You have
Yeah.
to compete or just
Okay.
watch?
So it's an
Well, I don't think you
international.
could get in.
It's in Hayward, Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's the international competition showcasing the best sawing, chopping, speed climbing, log rolling, boom running, and more.
What?
I would pay to watch that.
Okay, here's what we need to do. Loser has to go. Taylor goes with us, and we document it seriously.
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
Yes, if it's something like that, I will
Yeah.
volunteer.
And-
I need to.
and we have to. You've got to wear like the red and black, the standard red and black plaid button-up shirt, right, and
Yeah.
boots. And we can get a mic flag instead of the next round that's like Lumberjack Weekly or
Okay.
something like that. Is, hey Ted, Ryan Brown, Lumberjack Weekly. You made good time on the poll there. What were your thoughts?
Yeah.
Wait, can we go as media?
Yeah.
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 Oh, so you're not saying compete? You're saying
No, I'm saying like
Well, I don't think we can get in to compete. You got to qualify for that.
How
Don't
many
kill
people-
yourself, Lance? You don't even know how to crank a chainsaw.
oh, I know that.
Oh my-
I can swing an axe though.
Yeah, can you
Look at
use
these
it?
dudes climbing a tree. It can't be that
Wait,
hard.
you have to
Yeah.
climb trees?
Yeah, it can't be that hard.
Hey, with
The
no
log
branches.
rolls.
Yeah, they got that thing where they do that. Yeah.
Wait, what is a lumberjack?
Okay, here are the lumber. You don't know what a lumberjack
Well, I mean, I know what
is?
they are, but I didn't know they climb trees.
Okay, so
Well, you gotta
log
cut 'em.
rolling, you keep their balance. and
Yep,
you-
that
doesn't
seems
look,
easy.
it doesn't
Oh,
look
to
that
run on
difficult.
them?
Yep.
Boom running, I think you jump log to log. I think speed pole climbing. That's going up as fast
That
as
would
you can.
Knock me
Chopping,
out.
easy.
Oh.
Outside
Easy,
of your hands.
You'd have
Yeah.
to get those weightlifting gloves.
axe throwing. You saw me axe throwing.
Yeah,
I
we've
was
done
natural,
that. Yeah.
one-handed.
Yep, we've
Just
done that.
drilling. I could do the axe throwing. Sawing, it's gonna be difficult. That's it. Though.
You can start training.
Yeah.
I think covering it like we're legitimate,
Media
media
people.
would be pretty funny.
That would be good. I just don't.
Lumberjack Weekly.
That would be good.
So lumberjacks participate in those activities regularly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm all in.
Okay, here's a question. I saw this and I thought it was very interesting. If you
Do you know
have
her?
1 year to
I played
train,
soccer with her.
Oh.
I was
Okay.
about to say. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah, she keeps looking over here. I was
She always
looking
make
over
sure
here.
she gets
Oh.
your eye.
No.
okay, 1 year to train, and you know you're gonna win. Or wait, hold on. Let me rephrase this. You can get your name in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Lance wanted to do this.
Oh yeah.
And you
Well-
have 1 year to train. What do you think that you could accomplish?
I had
Oh,
this. I had this. And
Oh god.
here I did. And you wanted to do it for a minute. Little T has gotten soft from where she once
I've
was.
gotten busy. My responsibilities have grown.
You want content. This is the best content we would ever have
Okay,
of
let's
anything
hear
we've
it.
ever done.
Let's hear it.
It was setting a record
Do not blame this on me.
for the most bars in 24 hours. And I had our friend Richard Holland scouted this out in Nashville, had a route and everything. And so I was going to have a drink. It was 119 bars as the record. I was going to do 120 in 24 hours. Now here's the rub. You don't have to have alcohol. You have to have a drink at every bar.
Okay.
so you can have a cup of
Go
water.
water.
Yeah, I was going to go
Diet
2 or 3
Coke or-
waters,
yeah.
drink. 2 or 3 waters, drink. And I was going to end up having like 40 drinks in 24 hours, which, I mean, we saw that for Bama. That's a layup.
Yeah, that I started to get concerned. But also like I think your problem with this would be you would get into a bar and you would start talking
And you were
to
gonna
just
leave.
patrons of the bar.
That's
and
what my handlers. You got to be like, hey, we got to go in 2 minutes.
yeah,
handlers.
but we
That's
have
the
to
way it's
have
gotta be.
rotating handlers.
Oh, I know. We were going to have teams. I had everything planned out. The problem was,
Yeah, wait till you hear this.
the Guinness Book of World Records. I reached out to them, and to get a curator that would come in town and document this, $30,000.
30,000.
And you
Yeah.
have to have a witness from their company. Like I couldn't be the witness.
Yeah, you got to pay their witness to
Yeah,
do
like
it. 30 grand.
how the lady that sewed the most onesies in Philippines, how in the hell did she afford $30,000?
Yep.
That's so.
Maybe that's
interesting.
just was like
Maybe
what
it's a scam.
that was her life goal was to get in
You know, I'll
there.
tell you this:
She was
we've
willing
got.
to risk it all.
I hate to be chintzy. We've got a great audience, and I am willing to do this if we get a GoFundMe.
Here's an interesting tease. Lunsford says, we're going to get in the record book soon. I have my own idea.
I don't
Oh,
doubt that at all.
This is interesting.
That's a tease.
Okay,
is
well, I
What-
hope it's good. It
what
ain't gonna be
kind of
better than
things are in
119
there?
bars
Yeah.
in 24
What
hours.
kind of like
I mean, I feel like you can like Rory just did one with Dude Perfect. It was like the most drives hit in a
Yeah.
row over
Yeah.
But-
250 yards.
can you not just like make something up
I think you can.
and then you can just get in there because no one else has tried to do
Yeah,
it and then the
yeah.
next year someone else might beat it. But I don't want to plank for like 12 hours or anything like
Oh.
that.
No. I'd want to do something where you set it up and then you implement it.
So,
Yeah.
did you guys ever see the show Big and Rob on MTV?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a pretty entertaining show. So this dude had made so much money, I think skateboarding or whatever. He ends up basically he doesn't do anything anymore. And so he had this reality show, and his best friend Rob, they would just do different things. And so they were like in a gas station or grocery store, and they saw Guinness World Record. He was like, let's break some Guinness World Records. And so they set out to do it. They brought a curator in. They did a bunch of skateboarding tricks, but big dude, did a bunch of eating things. They broke like 7 world records in a day. I don't think it'd be that difficult.
I feel like you'd have to, if you're going to bring someone in, you have to go for 10 plus. Like you need that person available for multiple events that you're doing.
Oh,
Is it a
yeah.
30 grand flat fee
Yeah.
to get them there, or is it per record?
I think it's 30 grand flat fee.
So then
Yeah. So then you try to
You
knock a
break all
bunch
of
out.
them. You're like,
break all of
get
them.
comfortable in this hotel. 'cause
Yeah.
you're-
you're going to be here.
You're gonna be here a minute.
yeah.
So
Or you could just go ahead and say I broke them all, and we'll cut a deal.
that could be
Right.
a bracket punishment. Is we would do 5 world records. We get them here, and you got to break the world records or try at least.
Yeah, I guess there's just one little hurdle.
The
$30,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. Little T is
And
not wrong about that.
What if we don't break the record?
Well, there's that too. Could happen.
I
appreciate your brainstorming
I do
though.
too.
I
I
feel like
think
we're
we're-
shooting down all your ideas, but
no, it's
Good
okay.
progress.
We've had plenty of my ideas have been used for bracket challenges before.
yeah, you're doing a good job
So,
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Good
Say,
work.
I have
Come up
what
with
you
something
call
good.
ideas.
Ideas.
I told you guys about the rib roller, right?
Chemically aided. Yes, you did.
Did you guys ever hear the rib roller?
I
So
don't-
I was laying on the couch. I had an edible, and Bullet is the skinnier of my Vichle. He's the one that was in the woods forever. And so my foot was on his ribs, and I was like, damn, that's pretty comfortable. But I was high. And I was like, I wonder if you could stuff your dog once it passes away.
Yeah, isn't that called taxidermy?
Yeah, but you use it as a rib roller. So your dog's always there with you on the couch, but you can also get a foot massage at the same
Oh.
time.
Absolutely not.
Now, it was a bad idea once I read it sober.
Yeah, right. You're like,
Did you write it
what
down?
was I thinking?
Oh, I
In your
put my
notes?
high ideas in my
Wait,
phone.
what was the rap that you wrote?
I've written a couple.
You came into work one day and you were like, I wrote this rap. I can't remember what you said, but it was the funniest
I'm
thing.
going to start sending you. I'm going to not only send them to me, I'll send them to you. My high ideas.
Please do.
Yeah,
We
my
can
high
make
ideas.
something of this.
Ideas.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
High ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make something.
We can
of
launch
this.
a-
Once a week, we could do high ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
That's a great. Do you have a
Kinda like
list?
shower thoughts.
I will have one tonight because I am going home. I got a headache right now, and I am going to eat a big edible.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about starting, and I won't see if chat can give us this. The Righteous Gemstones.
I thought you had tried it before.
I've watched like 5 minutes of it. People swear by it, and I kind of want a comedy.
Can I ask an uncomfortable question?
Yes.
Are you wired up to get it after I screwed up your entertainment system?
Is it really screwed up?
Yes.
No.
No, here's the thing. I can go back in and do what I originally was doing, and that is smart TV with sound just coming from the backside of the TV. So I've got to blare it and put on subtitles. I did have the option of Netflix through my Blu-ray and Amazon
Wait.
Prime through my Blu-ray of
Blu-ray.
watching those
Hold
with
up.
surround sound,
Right.
but I wanted everything to have surround sound.
So you're sitting in your basement.
Yeah.
And if you blare your TV, you still have to have sound or subtitles. Are the
Okay.
speakers broken?
No, but they're
It's
so-
the rear fire speakers.
Yeah, and Brown can attest for this, and Dunaway would say the same. Unfortunately, what we do for a living, when you have headphones in your ears
Oh.
for 20
Yeah.
years, my hearing's not as good as your hearing.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with Lance. I need subtitles often.
Yeah, and so I'll have people come over and they're like, "Damn, that TV's loud." I'm like, "I can't really hear it," so I've got subtitles nonstop.
Wait a minute, TV's on? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the same way. I like it loud.
Yeah. So
That-
anyway, I'm
that makes
thinking about
sense.
Righteous Gemstones. I just can't decide whether or not I'm going to pull the trigger.
I have.
Yeah, I
I
can't.
can't.
Yeah.
You don't watch TV.
I
You
just
really
watch
don't
reruns.
either. You're hit or miss.
I've never watched Righteous Gemstones. We may have some breaking news on Muhammad Wagi. Well, Natos just says they agree with the suspension of Muhammad Wagi. I was seeing if there's
Oh.
anything more to that.
Did he say Muhammad's got to wear his jacket from last night?
He did not. He's got to wear my mustard jacket. All right, so Righteous Gemstones is what Lance is going to watch. Hit Lance up if you like
And
Righteous Gemstones.
here's the good news. If I
Or
don't
don't
like it that much, I'll zone out and I'll have more ideas.
That's
Okay.
right. How it is. That you can send a little
Should we
tea.
start this? We can start this next week.
Well, if it's great tomorrow, Dunaway, I think it's going to be out again.
Yeah.
You two are going to do 4
Yeah,
downs
we are.
for
We
us.
need to start thinking about that.
And
Yes.
I can
I've got a lot of.
send you something tonight if I come
Okay.
across something. And then next Friday, I'm 1 week away from our kegerator getting back fired up.
Wow.
Wait, next Friday is 1 week away.
Well, it's March 1st, yeah.
Next Friday. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
tomorrow? You're 1 week away.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I see. Oh my gosh, on a Friday, how
Yeah,
perfect.
Excited about it.
Wow.
Yeah. By the way, Muhammad Wagi suspended one game. I didn't include
One
that
game?
in the
I mean,
statement. One game, yeah.
I think that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it was very over the top, the elbows.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
very
say.
egregious on the
Yeah.
elbows.
All right, that's going to do it. BirminghamSquadron.com for tickets. Come watch them play the Maine Celtics. I almost called them the Maine Lobsters. The Maine Celtics is right there in the logo. The Maine Celtics, 2 games here at Legacy Arena. BirminghamSquadron.com for tickets. BirminghamSquadron.com for tickets. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. We'll see you on the next round. Thanks for joining us.